making the Tour Championship is a huge honor, and it's one of the most fun tournaments of the year because it's the last tournament, and everybody's excited to be there. It's like the last day of school almost.
Okay, right here. Yep.
Keegan, there's been 16 wins by 20-somethings, such as yourself. Is there a common denominator among your generation, and what do you make of that?
Yeah, I think that we are part of the Tiger Woods generation that watched him play, and we grew up watching him only talk about winning and coming out on tour and wanting to win right away. And I think you're seeing now the influence of Tiger Woods on the PGA Tour and on my generation of golfers. And we didn't come on tour we didn't come on tour scared of anybody. We were very respectful of the players, but Tiger kind of taught us to come with the mindset of winning.
How good can Rory be?
Yeah, Rory is he's a special player, really good dude. I really enjoy hanging out with Rory, and he's got a lot of talent. He's very driven, which is most important, and he loves to win, as we all do. So when he's at his best, he's tough to beat.
Okay, let's go to the back first. Yep.
Keegan, just Ryder Cup related, can you draw anything from form-wise, building up Ryder Cup, from a tournament that's a mile high in these great conditions to, we might be seeing the rain in Glen Eagles at the end of the month, or is form anyway?
Well, I think that the Ryder Cup, I personally think that your form going into the Ryder Cup is inevitable, whether it's good or bad, because the Ryder Cup is so unique and has such energy and craziness about it that it either brings out a really good side of your golf or it can bring out an ugly side. So I'm a big believer in, you could win 5 tournaments in a row going up to the Ryder Cup and have a poor week, or you could. 2012, I didn't have a good playoffs at all. I really kind of struggled and played some of the best golf of my life in that Ryder Cup. So it's tough to say if you have a bad week this week doesn't mean you're going to have a bad week in the Ryder Cup.
Okay, in the back.
Yeah, Keegan, talk about making the Ryder Cup team last night, the excitement involved in that.
Oh, man, it was really amazing. Golf Channel did such a cool job. That was a lot of fun. But it was a tough stretch for me. I leaned on a lot of players. Fred Couples especially was very helpful, and he would text me and after a tournament or after a good round. This is months and months ago, and kind of give me some advice and some emotional support because he knew how bad I wanted to be on the team, and he helped me a lot. And a lot of the guys reached out to me, which means a lot. And I've made no secret what the Ryder Cup means to me, and to miss the team would have been just totally devastating. So thank God that didn't happen.
All right, take a few more. Karen?
Keegan, speaking of Rory, you were on the first tee when he was nowhere to be found at Medina. What was that like for you, knowing that your opponent may not make it to the course on time? Can you take us through just the range of emotions and thoughts that you were dealing with on that day?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little distracting because everyone was talking about it, coming up to me, and I had actually spoken to a PGA official, and there's no way I was going to let him forfeit the match by not showing up. We were going to bump our time back or move back when he showed up. But I knew the whole time it was going to be close, maybe move it back one time, but we had a great match. We both were way under par. It's maybe in some ways that was a way to just go onto the first tee, not thinking of anything, and it was an interesting day.
Okay, Randall?
You said it would have been devastating not to make the Ryder Cup team. Can you speak to Kirk not getting a pick, and just can you empathize with the feeling?
Yeah, Kirk is one of my good friends out here, and if the Captain Tom would have told me, listen, Keegan, I'm taking Chris over you, I would have totally understood. If he said, Keegan, I'm going to take any of these guys over you, I would have 100% got it, because these guys are playing so well. Chris Kirk is such a good player, and I feel for him a lot because. But the thing that's about Chris is he's going to be on tons of teams from here on out. He could be on the next 5. So that's a good thing. And America needs Chris Kirk in the future because he's a tough competitor.
Okay, very back.
Keegan, you mentioned Palmer on that first hole. Will you go driver there, and do you think the rest of the field will try to drive that par 4 to start this thing off?
It's an interesting hole because I think you can hit driver and take that whole hazard out of play on the right. I'm probably going to just hit it down there, and hope it finds a green or anywhere around that green.
Okay, anything else? All right, Keegan Bradley. Thank you, sir.